if you heard us earlier, we had a little get-together in my backyard last night. Roxanne and Froggy were not invited. Roxanne and Froggy were not there. It was just Fester and his wife. And BJ from the old MJ and BJ days, he's out in Denver these days, and he was in town. We had a little backyard barbecue. Of course, Roxanne, you don't know him, so you weren't there. Froggy, you barely knew him when you were at the radio station. I don't think he ever acknowledged or talked to you. So now, Froggy 1, yes, but you're Froggy 2. So, yeah.
We like to refer to Froggy 1 as unfunny Froggy. He doesn't exist anymore.
All right, so we had food from Jimbo's. We had the ribs, and we had some pulled pork and barbecue chicken.
Yeah, the Hush Puppies were great.
Yeah, Michelle made the dessert. And apparently it's this item that Fester is like, my God, Allison will not shut up about the
world's most awesome chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, please. Where'd she buy them from?
Well, that's the thing.
She did not buy them.
So here's Froggy. As the meal's winding down, like the last 15 minutes of the meal, MJ says, Michelle, should I put the cookies in?
I didn't go, Michelle, should I put the cookies in?
That's exactly how you sound. So
Mm-hmm.
MJ gets up and puts the cookies in the oven, right? And we're still jibber-jabbering and having a little fun talking out there. And then lo and behold, about 15 minutes later, these cookies come out. And they're big. They were large cookies.
Oh, by the way, everybody at the table looked at me. You, Allison, BJ, Lisa is BJ's wife, because I lean out of the door. I open up the French door on the back lanai, and I lean out, and the cookies are about done. And I said to Michelle something like, hey, Michelle, don't you have to come slam the cookies?
Yeah. Yeah, you did say that. I just slam the cookies.
Yeah, everyone looked at me about slamming the cookies. All right, that's a whole separate thing. But Allison, I'll talk about slamming the cookies in just a minute. But I probably should call Michelle here in a moment. But Allison will not stop talking about Michelle's cookies. And by the way, that's not a euphemism, folks.
So everybody gets a cookie. We're passing them out. The kids had cookies. I want you to know, MJ, I did not have a cookie. And it was just a clerical error, by the way, but it worked out the way, because the thing was wrapping up. BJ had to go to the airport. I never had a cookie, but Allison,
she took a baggie home with extra cookies.
No.
Oh, Lisa took the cookies.
Okay, so
BJ's wife Lisa took a little baggie with like 2 or 3 cookies.
Your gracious wife made a little to-go bag for Lisa and with cash to their kid. And, and Allison eats, and Allison even said to Michelle at the table, this is the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had. Which is
what a liar.
Well, that's it, Froggy. If it wasn't true, you wouldn't say it.
Right.
That's a compliment you don't just pass.
So she has the best biscuits in the world and now best cookies
Hold
in the
on.
world?
I've never ate her biscuits.
Why is she on the Food Network making
That is not a euphemism either. All right. So I'm telling you right now, these cookies are unbelievable.
I need a good cookie recipe.
Michelle, well, I got it right here.
So
Michelle makes a chocolate chip cookie recipe that is outrageously good.
I only eat Toll House.
Michelle also makes buttermilk biscuits that are amazing. The best biscuit I've ever had. So Michelle,
these are some outlandish claims.
She's
here.
like
the best food you've ever had.
I know. She's a quasi baker over here, but
that's the point, Froggy. You don't just throw that compliment out. I would never. Oh, this is the best I've ever had. That's not true.
But on the way home, the whole way home, she's talking about the damn chocolate chip cookies that you had.
You guys walked us to the car. We're in the car, right?
Oh, by the way, Allison's brand new Tesla Model Y.
So we get into our
you guys are so bougie.
Electric transporter.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we get into the transporter, and Michelle says to Allison, hey, can I run inside and get you a to-go bag of cookies? And Allison, because for some reason the lady folk amongst us have a battle of politeness, Allison wants to be polite and not make Michelle run into the house again and get something to come back out. She's, oh, no, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, let me guess. On the way home, she was probably saying, why didn't I get the cookies? Why didn't I get the cookies? Why didn't I should have got the cookies. She offered the cookies. Why didn't I take a bag of cookies to go?
We were not even off your block. I mean, she's like, I wish I would have had Michelle get those damn cookies. She goes, you don't understand. She goes, what'd you think? I was like, I didn't have a cookie. She goes, it was the best cookie. And that's not a compliment you just, like I said, arbitrarily give out. She goes on and on about it the whole ride home. She's, I would never. And then what happened was she gave Michelle a compliment, and Michelle, graciously accepted it, and then said, I got the recipe from the New York Times.
Yep.
And then she gave a couple of, a variety of flours that go into this.
Okay, what tastes so good about the cookies? I know you didn't have one, Fester, but are they chewy?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you ask Michelle whatever questions you have?
Why don't you bring the cookie in so we could try it?
No kid. That's what I said to Michelle. I was like, hey, give them to your husband. Tell him to bring them to work tomorrow. And
Hello?
Sure, they're not that great.
Hey, Michelle, they're talking about your cookies.
They're good cookies.
They're fantastic.
Best in the world,
They
please.
are unbelievably good chocolate chip cookies.
What makes them so tasty?
It's a mixture of bread flour and cake flour instead of all-purpose flour.
Right, but when you eat them, is it like what makes them taste better than other cookies?
The mixture of the flours.
Uh-huh.
Right. I mean, that's what does it. It has a different consistency.
It does. It's the perfect amount of chewy and soft,
Gotcha.
with not being, crumbly. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no crazy ingredient besides the mixture of the flours,
Oh,
right?
I got the recipe right here.
I bet you it's not as good as the Chips Ahoy.
So that's the thing.
Oh, will you shut up? These things make Chips Ahoy
I don't know.
taste like cow puke.
Who has more sales?
All right.
Oh wait, there's one more special thing you have to do.
Sneeze on them?
Well, no, it's the slamming, right?
No.
What?
It's they sit in the refrigerator for 24 to 36 hours, or you could freeze them.
Right.
Which is what I did last night.
Yeah, so you can't just make the batter and then just cook them right away. You want to refrigerate them. Now, folks, this is no secret. We're not going to, Michelle's not going to give up the recipe.
No.
It's one of, now there are a couple in New York Times chocolate chip cookie recipes, but this one is the chocolate chip cookie recipe from the New York Times, and it's the recipe from Jacques Torres, adapted by David Leite, Leite, and it's normal stuff. It's 2 cups of listen.
That's not normal stuff.
Hold on.
Those
Listen.
flowers are kind of special.
I want you to listen to how.
You're going to give a recipe on the air?
No, I just want to read a couple things that are so specific. Listen to how.
Don't tell me to,
don't
Froggy,
tell me to stop.
No, you need to stop because you're being a naysayer jackass.
You tell me to stop again. I'll come over there and I'll
Shut
kick your ass.
Shut up, Froggy.
You shut up, bitch.
All right, Froggy, listen.
You shut up.
All right, hey,
Froggy,
I don't know what you're doing, dude.
I've told you
I
about
don't know what you're doing, dude.
I've asked you to watch your language.
Look,
what is wrong
you're
with
sitting
you?
here-
He's in my face. Don't get in my face.
Hold on, you're sitting here comparing Michelle's fantastic cookies to Toll House, just to be
Toll House is good.
to be argumentative and to be a jackass. And
Toll
you're getting all
House is
defensive.
delicious.
Hey, maybe you should take one of your little breaks that we can't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you
Oh,
kiss
yeah?
more of
Oh,
MJ's
yeah?
ass?
Oh,
Why don't
yeah?
you combine your
All right,
biscuits
this is unacceptable.
and your cookies?
This is unacceptable.
and make a
Froggy,
biscuit
you know what?
cookie?
You're in timeout. Go leave.
No,
You're in timeout.
I'm not leaving.
You're in timeout.
I stay.
I'm putting you in timeout.
I stay.
This is all over
Shut his mic
cookies.
Well,
Seriously, over
Wait,
cookies.
Cookies are like
You're just
they bring
kissing
people
his
together.
ass. Every time you go over there, you're like,
What a dick.
oh,
MJ, I can't work in these circumstances
Dude,
anymore.
every-
I can't work in this.
folks, I'm trying to talk about something delightful like chocolate chip cookies, and Froggy, you're ruining it.
Well, I mean, it can't be the best in the world. It's an outright lie. There's cookie stores out there that make their livings on cookies.
Listen, I've had some really bad cookies from so-called cookie stores.
I'm sorry
all
I'm
right?
offending you when we're talking
You know,
about cookies. You enormous man.
All right, shut up, Froggy. Shut up. Go chief up. Go visit
now,
the parking lot
shut
again.
up.
What?
Go eat.
One send me a text
Go
about
eat.
it. Shut up.
Froggy and Fester, I need you guys just
Make
to
up another
Shut
lie
up.
when you're late.
Get out of here.
I
got gas on my hand.
I
Go
need-
away.
You go away.
You go away.
Tired of you.
guys,
you.
I'm turning your mics off. Oh my God.
I don't have any boy children, but
Yes.
is this how it is?
This is how it is. Oh my God.
Oh, I
Oh,
do.
boy.
And this is how it is.
I turned your mic off.
oh, wait.
But Michelle, are you okay?
Yes. I think Froggy needs to go take a.
I think you need to stop, okay?
Don't yell at my wife
I think
now.
Michelle needs to make some more cookies, and Froggy, you can eat them.
Yeah, why don't you bring me some cookies?
Why don't you make some marijuana cookies for Froggy?
No, no. Why don't you just make me normal cookies?
All right, now hold on a minute. Listen. The weird recipe has just weird specifics. 2 cups minus 2 tablespoons of cake flour. They want you to take 2 tablespoons out.
Pause. It's actually better if you weigh it. Notice it has the weight
Oh,
there.
8.5 ounces, yeah.
Yeah, you should really weigh
Weigh
your
it.
baking weight
All right.
because the flour is very different, right? Cake flour is very light and bread flour is very heavy.
Now, can anybody just go online and get this recipe, or do you have to be like a subscriber to the New York Times online to get the recipe?
Well, like if you want to print it out from the New York Times, you probably have to be a subscriber. But if you Google it and you just go a couple pages deep, you'll probably be able to find somebody.
All right. But the cookies, folks, are incredible. Allison Fester's wife won't stop talking about these chocolate chip cookies. And then finally, the slamming of the cookies. Can you explain the cookie slam?
Well, I read this a while ago. So, when you take the cookies out when they're starting to look done, sometimes they rise, right? Like everything you bake rises. But if you want that like perfectly kind of not flattened, but a flatter, round, more symmetrical type of cookie, when you take it out, you just take your tray and you just slam it on the counter, and the cookies just all flatten very nicely into almost a perfectly round shape.
You take the tray and you go bam, and the first time Michelle did it, it scared the crap out of me. It sounded like a gunshot. I thought there was a gunshot, and it was like she takes the metal tray and boom, bam on the counter, and you slam the cookies, and they the force makes them flatter and wider. Right. And it's crazy. It's like, some kind of icing on the cake deal if you're like Benihana and the guy flips the shrimp into the hat. I mean, that's what all right, Michelle.
Isn't it then the most perfect like thickness and circumference and everything?
And if you would like to see Michelle holding 2 large chocolate chip cookies in front of her boobs, I took
That's awesome.
Oh, Michelle.
I took this picture last night.
They're like chocolate chip cookie pasties.
It is seriously, look at the
they're
picture.
placed.
I'm holding it up to
It's
MJ.
so cute, Michelle.
It's on MJTV right now. I'm holding the image on MJTV, but it's on my Instagram. So if you want to see Michelle holding 2 of her cookies in front of her boobs inside my radio hallway in our house, the image is up on my Instagram. It's Certified Todd Schnitt. That's Certified TODDSCHNITT. And Andrew, could you grab it and also put the link up on MJMorningShow.com? And if you don't want to go to Instagram, you can see it. It'll be in a few minutes. The cookies will be up on MJMorningShow.com. But I encourage.
Wouldn't that be a good invention, like pasties that had a chocolate chip cookie design?
I have a good idea, MJ.
And then you flash people, and then you have 2 chocolate chip cookies.
I have
on
a
your
good
boobs.
idea.
What's your
What
good
if she
idea?
combines her 2 best products, the biscuits and the cookies, and you make a biscuit cookie?
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. Bye, Michelle.
Do they exist? Do you remember? Have you ever heard anything called the cronut? Thank you.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
You can combine 2 good things.
Michelle, excellent job. Cookies are delicious, and don't let Froggy drag you down. All right?
I'll tell you how good they are.
All right, bye, Michelle.
Bye.
All right. All right, so we'll also put the image up at MJMorningShow.com. But, folks, give me a follow because you never know what's going to happen on my Instagram. Certified Todd Schnitt. All right? And the recipe is the New York Times recipe from Jacques Torres.
I'll find it and repost it.
Is his middle name Itch?
Jacques Torres is what it is. But, folks, I'm telling you, these chocolate chip cookies are unbelievable.